Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about monitoring spirits. That is a heavy one. That is actually a term that I learned late last year, but it has been something that has been happening in my life for as long as I could remember. I just couldn't put a name to it. I would call certain people just nosy. But it goes deeper than that. It goes way deeper than someone just being nosy. So I know you guys are probably wondering, what is a monitoring spirit? So a monitoring spirit is someone that is low-key jealous of you. That, you know, that person that want to know so much about you and what's going on in your life. But at the same time, that person, when you're speaking, they don't have very much response to what you're saying. It's almost like they're just trying to take in as much information as they possibly could. Or that person, when you tell them something good about you, they always want to follow up with, make sure you be careful because, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, so, you know, you get that, that's a monitoring spirit. Or you got that person that's a frenemy, that person where they're in places that they know they shouldn't be. For example, hanging out in spots that y'all used to hang out in together, but that spot was formed because of you. Or hanging out with enemies or befriending enemies, that is a frenemy. Somebody who always has information about you, negative information at that comes from another person, and it's like, well, why does this person feel so comfortable with you to talk so negative about me? And then you got those ones that's low-key in competition with you. Those ones where you go get a new pair of shoes and they be like, oh, them cute, where'd you get them from? And then they pop up with the same shoes a week later. There's a difference though. I want to make sure I explain that in detail, because there is a difference between you just being a trendsetter and people just think your style is cute and they may go pick up an outfit or two that you got or accessorize that outfit in a way that they like or whatnot. And then there's that other side where no matter what you do, they're always copying it, trying to one up you, or thinking that they'll look better in the outfit or whatnot, or claim to be the original, but it came from you. So that's somebody that's in competition with you. And they low-key never want to see the best for you. Like, for instance, let's say you got a new car. 3 months later, they're like, oh, you still got that car? Like, am I not supposed to have that car? Or you get into a relationship or you get married and they're like, oh, you still married? Because I remember when me and my husband first got married, it happened so fast. I can definitely be the first to say that. It happened so fast. We got married within 3 months of meeting back up with each other again. And people were shocked because to them it happened out of nowhere, but to us that's what we wanted. But them same people would see me maybe like 6 months to a year later and they're like, you're still married? Like, am I not supposed to be? I thought marriage was for eternity. Confusing. And I'm reading notes too, guys. I wrote down notes, so I'm just not going all over the place with this video. And then also, monitoring spirits is something you guys should know that they're not strangers. They're definitely not strangers. They're people you know. They will always be people you know. And then they want to know about you, but don't care about you at all. You know what I mean? Like, the people who always call you just to figure out what you got going on in your life. But then people never call or send a text to ask genuinely how you're doing today. How you feeling? Do you need anything? And things of that nature. And then, signs of monitoring spirits around you. Flies. That is a big indicator. Like, I know flies can get in people's homes when weather gets warm or whatnot, or if you accumulate a lot of trash, or if your house is not clean. And I don't want to say that flies just get into people's house who are not clean, because they get in people's house whose house are clean. Just by simply having too much traffic in and out of the door, it's bound to have a fly in it. But if you notice some flies get in your home and it's cold outside, big indicator that you got monitoring spirits around you. And quick story time, at our old house, we used to have like a serious fly problem. And I'm not a dirty person, like my home stays clean. It may not be like the best, sorry, that was bothering me. It may not be like the cleanliest home, because I do have children, so there's just some days where things are out of place. But for the most part, I am a very clean person. And my house reflects that majority of the time. But at our old house, wintertime, we have flies. I don't know where flies go when the seasons change, but they definitely don't fly around in the wintertime. So for us to have flies in our home in the wintertime, that was a problem. And I just always thought that was weird. And then gnats, them little tiny little bugs. If you don't have like super ripe fruit around your home, or I notice sometimes they're attracted to plants too. So if you have plants in your home, they will accumulate through the plants as well. But you'll know where they're coming from, because if it's your plants, then you're going to notice that the gnats hang around your flower pots or whatnot. But if you just have gnats out of the blue, that's a problem. Like my other house, there was gnats in that house like crazy. No matter what time of the year, they were always there. And like I said, I'm a very clean person, and I check on my fruit, I check on my plants, I make sure there's no old onions or potatoes or fruit laying around. Like, we upkeep those things. And then I noticed there was a fly in this house and some gnats, but I understood where the gnats were coming from. I had some sweet potatoes and regular potatoes that needed to be thrown out. Once I threw those out, I haven't seen a gnat since, so I know where they were coming from. The fly, I'm pretty sure that came in through somebody coming in and out. Like, it's not like crazy. You can kind of tell the difference, like who sent you versus, oh, you got in because somebody opened the door. And then you can also tell if a person is a monitoring spirit by the questions they ask you. If they're asking questions about you, your relationship, or bills, or this, that, and the third, where it's just solely none of their business, that's a monitoring spirit. And then when you begin to answer those questions and you lose your train of thought frequently with that person, that spirit telling you, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. These people mean you no good. Be quiet. And they will literally snatch those thoughts up from you, because that's just things that you shouldn't be telling them. And then random dreams about them. Like, if you don't think about this person on a daily, they're never usually in your dreams, and then all of a sudden they pop up in your dreams, that's a problem. Another random story time I have for you guys. I'm not going to use anybody's name. I had a dream one day that Angelica called me, and we were talking on the phone, and we were just talking randomly about whatever. I can't even remember what we were talking about in this dream specifically, but I know that we were talking, and next thing I know, we get off the phone, and she accidentally sends a text message to me and was like, did you hear that? Did you hear what she said? And then the person she was sending that text message to was my sibling. And I was just like, I texted her back and I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, oh my God, I didn't mean to send that to you. Come to find out, in real life, in real time, that actually did play out. Like, I was on the phone with her, we were talking, we were kind of like gossiping, and then we get off the phone, she sends me a text message and was like, she think we don't know about the kids or something. And I was like, what? So I texted her and I was like, what are you talking about? And we were talking about my kids, though. We were definitely talking about my kids. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, oh man, I didn't mean to send that to you. And I was like, what? So you gossiping about me. And then you accidentally sent the text message to me. But long story short, when you got monitoring spirits around you, they'll pop up in your dreams, and then something in real life will correlate with that dream that you had, just to confirm that those people are monitoring spirits or they just being messy as hell. And then we talked about the gnats, and then snakes. Snakes also, whether they're appearing frequently in real life in nature or in your dream. Like, I remember like during this time when all of this stuff was happening, I was having dreams like that. And then like I had dreams that it was raining snakes and I was trying to like pull the snakes off of me. And I'm like, why are all these snakes coming down? Like, instead of the sky raining with water, it was raining snakes and they were like on me. And I just remember in that dream I was freaking out, just trying to pull them off, and I'm screaming and I'm like, what the hell? But then in return, in real life, I was having flies and gnats and everything in my home. And then I realized, like, when this person is around, I need to learn how to shut up. Like, I need to learn how to get into acting mode. And once you stop feeling these monitoring spirits, one or two things will happen. A lot of the weird coincidental things will stop happening, the weird dreams will stop happening, or that person is going to get enraged and then start up a whole bunch of drama in your life. But yeah, if you got monitoring spirits in your home or in your life, you need to recognize them and cut them off. And ways that you can protect yourself from monitoring spirits is, number one, shut up. That's a big one. Shut your mouth. Not every listening ear cares about you. Shut up. Also, if you suspected being a certain person and they do come in your home after they leave, sweep your porch. You can clean it too. Throw some soap, some water, and just start sweeping their energy away. And not only that, put sea salt in the lining of your windowsills and all the entry doorways. So eventually that person will die off. Not physically, but they'll stay away from you. And if they don't stay away completely, you'll notice that their visits become minimum. Their questions become minimum. And it's almost like you're trapping their spirit where it came from. That type of spirit is just not strong enough to get through your barriers that you put up, your barriers of protection. So be very aware of monitoring spirits, because monitoring spirits can be very deadly depending on how weak they get you. And what I mean by weak is the more you tell them, the more they know about you, which is dangerous, because then they know how to attack, when to attack, what to attack, and where to attack. So be very aware. And like I said, monitoring spirits are not strangers. 9 times out of 10, monitoring spirits are your family. For sure. It's your family. And as I learned throughout the years, that family could be your biggest enemy over your enemy. And that's crazy. But yeah, that was just a quick little segment on monitoring spirits, because I remember how I felt when I was able to put a name to what I was experiencing, because I was like, damn, people around me are just so nosy. Like, I am not an interesting person at all. I'm a straight homebody. I don't participate in no activities outside of this house. I go to work, I take care of my kids, take my kids back and forth to school. And that's it. Like, I don't have an interesting life whatsoever. But the people around me would make it seem like my life was so interesting, because they always had 1,001 questions for me. And I'm just like, well, maybe if you was around, you would know what was going on in my life. But the thing is, they can't even stand to be around your energy too long, because it shakens up their demons. So they can only tolerate you in small doses. But behind the scenes, oh baby, they are fueling up on information about you and yours, best believe, full time. So start recognizing the monitoring spirits that you have in your life. Take notes of all of these patterns and things that they do, so that way you'll be able to identify them. And once you identify them, you'll learn how to shut up. And then the things that you are trying to manifest will start to manifest easily in your life. So if you notice that you're trying to manifest certain things in your life and it's just not happening, or there are so many barriers around the things that you are trying to manifest, it's because that monitoring spirit is preying on your downfall. So now when you're about to move into that house, you know to shut up until you get the keys to that house. When you're about to buy a new car, you know to shut up and just allow them to see you rolling in your new car. When you secure that new man, you know to shut up until you got that and y'all walking down the aisle. When you really want something in real life, stop telling people. Just shut up. Because monitoring spirits can block your blessings like faster than anything in this world. Shut your mouth is all I got to say. Watch out for the monitoring spirits. I'll be back with another video.